All right, I got a phone for you guys today. This house behind me, it is magnificent. I cannot wait to show you some of the features inside it. But also, I'm gonna explain to you where we're at today and just why this is the newest and one of the hottest communities here in the Jacksonville area. So not wasting any time, let's get into that home tour right now. Let's get this tour started. So as we come up, you're gonna notice that the builder did some nice pavers for the front driveway. It is one of those things that sometimes that could be a standard. A lot of times it's gonna be an upgrade, but if you wanna know if it was an upgrade for this neighborhood with this builder, give me a call, a text, an email so we can go over all of that as well as what else is standards versus upgrades with this builder or any builders here in this community. But as we come into the front of the house, we're gonna come in through our nice 8-foot door, glass insert. It brings us into our beautiful foyer. Obviously you're gonna get views of the rest of the home, which we'll get to in a moment. But right away, I do wanna point out, I absolutely love the wood floors that the builder put in this. These are probably an engineered hardwood, but this lighter color really just pops when you come in. And it's something that we're starting to see builders do a lot more of nowadays. And so that just has a great feel, a great look to it, as well as these smooth walls when we come in as well. So a lot of things that just really pop at you that aren't always things that you may think are upgrades. Sometimes they can be. So again, reach out to me to find out more, but let's now keep it going. All right. As we continue through this walkthrough, we're gonna start at the front of the house with the first bedroom. Now, what I love about this floor plan is they have great distinction between their different spaces. So that way, again, if you wanna have a guest have their own privacy, they get that with a space like this. So obviously we have tons of natural light as you see here. We have those 10-foot, actually these are 9-foot ceilings. They did some crown molding throughout, which is an upgrade. So again, if you wanna know what's an upgrade with this builder, what's a standard, or what generally is an upgrade with most builders here, give me a call, a text, an email, because I'm always happy to help answer any of those questions, and they'll be on the screen as well. But in addition, as you can see, we have the carpet here. We also have a standard closet. They actually did the slider doors here. So with the sliders, it just kind of gives it a more elegant look. So instead of having those pesky bifolds that break, having the sliders just really gives a more luxurious feel without it being like a big cost item. Then we come to our first bathroom, and this bathroom is going to be our guest bathroom. So it's gonna be for anyone coming to visit, but also for whoever's gonna occupy that bedroom up there. So things that I love about this, we have the quartz countertops, which is more of a white gray with the white cabinets. But then we have a lot of gold hardware, and a lot of that gold is starting to become something that we're seeing a lot of builders, especially this builder. So again, we're gonna tell you who this builder is later on this video, so stay tuned. But they're starting to use a lot more golds with their floor plans, with a lot of their finishes, and a lot of their model homes. In addition, because this is not meant necessarily to go into since the model, we do have our seamless glass enclosure. They did do a step down here. So the step down does keep a lot of that water contained, which is a great concept, great way to kind of structure it. You'll have that a lot of times in these first floor bathrooms. But also with this, we have a little niche here for your soaps, your shampoos. And then they did the tile up to the ceiling, which is an upgrade, but that is one of those upgrades that I always really do suggest to really heavily think about doing. Not because it needs to be done, but it just gives you a nice complete look, and it does keep more water away from that drywall, because again, drywall and water don't always mix, and that tile up the ceiling does make a huge difference. And this is one of my favorite floor plans that I've seen with this builder. So again, things like that, they just make a lot of sense, and they look fantastic in person. Then we get to our office here. In this office, they're actually using it as their sales center, the current builder is. But overall, this office, as you can see, they've designed it very nicely. You have a desk in here. We also have tons of cabinetry in here. They did some nice built-ins on the sides. So it just kind of shows you what you can do with that space. And I love the two-tone cabinets with the white bottoms, the brown tops, and then the gold hardware that we saw in the bathroom is continued here. So it just really complements each other super well. We also get some nice natural light in here, tons of recessed lighting because this is a model, they're gonna upgrade those things. And it has the French doors, which is an option you can do. Or if you don't want the French doors, you could leave it open as well. We also have with these doorways, we'll see it here as we go to the laundry room. With these doorways, we do have more of that craftsman style trim. So that craftsman trim is an upgrade because it has to be all hand done in person. But as you can see, it just has a nice, much nicer, cleaner look. than your standard trim around your doors. As far as the laundry room though, we do have our washer dryer combination, our side by side. They do still give you enough space here to have your sink as well. And they continue the countertops, the cabinets, everything to kind of match the theme we've seen throughout the home so far. In addition, we have a nice hexagon tile kind of pattern here, which I really like that geometric kind of look, at least for the floor tile for a lot of these spaces, because in small spaces, it really does complement the other finishes very well. And it's very simple as well. We also have a little sitting area here for our mudroom. Again, another upgrade, but again, if you want that, you could do that with the builder or after the fact. Because again, some of these things I'm gonna show you today are things you don't have to do with the builder. You can, but you don't have to. Another thing you could do with the builder or after the fact is this epoxy garage floor. Because again, this is a 2-car garage, but this epoxy garage is not gonna be standard, it's gonna be an upgrade. And so again, one of those things you have to figure out, what makes the most sense to do with and without, and I can help you with that. Again, all you have to do is call, text, or email me. We also have a water loop out here for a water softener, which is becoming more of a standard with this builder. But again, if you want to know if it was a standard for this community, again, just reach out to me. That's then going to take us to our kitchen. Just kidding, we're not there yet. We will go to the kitchen in a second, but let's actually go upstairs now and show you the rest of the guest bedrooms and bathrooms, because again, it's good to see what's up there as well. Now that we're upstairs, as you can see, which you didn't see downstairs because obviously down there the stairs are tucked in, they're kind of hidden, so that we don't see too often most of their floor plans. But I actually like that because again, you don't always need to make the stairs the focal point. You can, but you don't always have to. But what I do like is they did do the open railing up here. It's that nice wrought iron metal railing. Just have some wood elements with it as well. They continued that beautiful wood or laminate or vinyl, probably wood floors. I think these are some engineered hardwoods. They continue it upstairs as well, which is definitely an upgrade. But again, if you're gonna do it, you might as well overdo it, at least for a model, right? But up here, as you can see, we have this large open loft. Obviously, we have a section over here that can be more of a office space for the kids to be able to work on their homework, to be able to work on whatever they need to. But then we also have our first bedroom up here as well. So this bedroom, as you'll notice, we actually have now dropped down to 8-foot ceilings. The door height is actually gonna be more your standard door height as well. Sometimes some builders can keep the height higher at 9 feet, sometimes it goes to 8 feet. Regardless, I like to bring that up so that way you as the audience can kind of see that if you don't actively see it while watching this video. But what the builder did do to complement it is they did do some shiplap for the accent wall here. It's still white, you could even color if you wanted to, in this case they kept it white. But the shiplap's a nice look. It just really ties into that more natural theme of living in Jacksonville, especially living on or near the water, because again, we have a lot of navigable water here. We have a lot of different waterways, and we have the beach as well. So the shiplap just kind of ties into the history of Jacksonville at the end of the day. We do have our standard closet here, which does have the slider doors. So with these sliders, again, I like that better than the bifolds. And again, a lot of natural light too. Now, does this room feel maybe a little bit on the smaller side? Maybe, it just depends on what you're looking for. Then we get to our first bathroom up here. So this first bathroom on the second story, or bathroom in general. This bathroom, we actually have a very interesting green tile here. I actually like it, it's just different. I don't see it very often. It pairs better than I would have thought with the gold hardware. But what I like most about it is it goes up to the ceiling, and the builder is still taking chances on it as far as doing something that you would not normally think about doing. And they even kind of tied it in too with the cabinetry as well. It will also keep that gold hardware. And then the countertops do match other countertops throughout the house, so you have some continuation there. But so I actually like that. It's just different. And it really definitely shows that they're willing to take some risks to kind of see what goes well with each other and what people will tend to like as well. Then we get to the rest of our loft. And as you can see, it's a big open space here. They give us that accent wall here with all those wood elements, a little bit of a color change with it as well. And so everything just pairs up very nicely. This is also gonna be your AC closet, but you will have some storage here as well if you needed it. Then we're gonna come to our other bedroom, and this may be the bedroom for perhaps your favorite child. I'm just kidding, of course you don't have favorites, but if you did, this could be the one for the favorite child, because this bedroom has its own private bathroom. So this bathroom here, again, we do have our quartz countertops, our gold hardware. I'm sure you're getting sick of me saying all that, but we keep seeing it. Has the nice upgraded cabinets as well. But then we get to the tile floor and the tile for the shower. And as you can see, they went with a much darker tile floor here, which I personally, again, I like that geometric pattern in small spaces. And that darker look really pairs well with some of the other lighter fixtures or features like those countertops. So the builder really did a great job of maximizing the look and feel of these spaces, and it just all pairs really well. So again, if you need someone to be able to help walk through and figure out what finishes make the most sense, one of the things that I do is when you go to the design center, I'm right there with you to figure out, is this the tile you want for your shower? Is this the flooring you want for your shower? Is this the flooring you want for your bathroom? What pairs well together? Try some different things. I like to always do that. If you want me there to be able to help work through on what items are most important and what looks the best for you and your family. And again, tile up to the ceiling, seamless glass enclosure. We've seen it a couple times now, but again, it looks super good in person. Then we get to the bedroom part of this section of the house. And this bedroom is a very good size. Having that walkway coming in really definitely, really makes the look of it, feel bigger than I think it maybe even is. But it's a great size space. We still have our standard our standard closet here as well with the sliding doors. And again, tons of natural light. So this builder, what I like is that they really do prioritize that natural light because of how it makes the space feel. So if it was me, if it wasn't my house and I was to spend the night, this is the room I'd want if I was visiting a friend or a family to spend the night in. But in general, this is definitely a great space through and through. So now let's head back downstairs. So we've seen everything up here, and let's check out what you really want to see, which is the kitchen, the primary bedroom, and especially probably that backyard once you know it's down there. So let's head downstairs now. Now that we are back downstairs, I'm going to show you the parts of the house that I absolutely love, starting with this living room. Now, things I love about this living room, first of all, the size. This is a great size living room. Obviously, you have a big couch here. You have a couple chairs, but you can easily do a love seat there. You even have another lounger over here. So it kind of goes to show and shows you just how much space you have. In addition, they did some nice wood elements on this accent wall here to just kind of have it pop out some without really, adding too much color. But especially the part I love the most, and if you know me, you know why I love this, but it's gonna be this tray ceiling right above. So this tray ceiling here, there's things I love. First of all, the crown molding, awesome. The recessed lights, great. The surround sound speakers, obviously it's the model, you got to. And of course, if you want this in your own house, you could do all these same things, or if not, you could do it after the fact too. But what really sets it apart is not only with the tray, we also have the wood beams that run perpendicular to the house, and we have the shiplap above it that run parallel that really accentuate the space. It's something that I do not see very often, and it's something that does stand out when you come into the space. Your eyes are almost directed not just to the outside, but also to that tray ceiling because of all the features the builder put up there. So again, that could be yours if you want it. You have to just reach out to me so we can go over what it takes to get it, whether if it's waiting for maybe a model like this to sell, or doing that in your own home when you build with this specific builder in this community or any others. But then it takes us to our kitchen, and we're gonna start with this pantry. So the pantry, it's very cool. Maybe not always the most usable, but it's very large through and through. It actually comes back and utilizes that stairwell underneath. So it comes all the way back, all the way to underneath the stairwell. So it gives you tons of storage space. Now keep in mind, this may not all be pantry storage space. You may utilize part of this for your pantry and part of it for just additional storage. Maybe things that you use once a year or every couple years, but you want to keep, but you don't necessarily want to have out in the open at all times. So in general, it's just really nice when the builder gives you that much storage space because you will need it, you will use it, and if you don't need it first, you will need it at some point. Then we get to our kitchen. So as you can see here, this kitchen, it's absolutely stunning. They did the upgraded, thicker quartz countertops, which really pops when you come into the kitchen. Really goes well with that living room we just looked at. And so this thicker quartz, I mean, it just really really, like I said, gives you that luxurious feel. And believe it or not, it may not always be as much or maybe even as less, and that's in the bad side of things, as what you think. So again, if that's something you'd like to have, we can always go over that and figure out what the builder may charge for things like that. In addition, for the backsplash on this outer part of the kitchen, they do give us that subway tile backsplash back here, but it's a very clean look, almost a little bit of a concrete kind of look to it. And I think it just looks really sharp and it allows the other elements also to shine with it. So we also have the two-tone cabinets. So we're gonna have all uppers are gonna be in white, and they went up to the ceiling, which is an upgrade. I get that question a lot, you know, Justin, why don't homeowners go up to the ceiling with the cabinetry? A lot of people just don't pay the extra money for it, and I get it. But I mean, it really does give you more storage space, and it really makes the kitchen feel more complete at the end of the day. In addition, we do have all the gold hardware. We have our gas stovetop, because this is a gas community. Most new communities here in Jacksonville will be gas, but I always like to bring it up because a lot of communities in Jacksonville don't have gas. So again, the fact that you get a 5-burner gas stovetop is also very nice with it. Everything here is gonna be soft close typically as well. Now that is an upgrade, but something I always suggest doing. We get the nice big deep sink. Again, more gold hardware. Don't ask me why the sink is always in the island here in these videos here in Jacksonville, Florida. I can't tell you that because I don't know, but most of them have it like that. But again, just a great use of the space, microwave oven combo as well. All KitchenAids, so just really shows you what you could do with the kitchen if you want it to look just like that. Then it gives us our dining room here, and this dining room is a good size. The dining room is a 6-seater table. And with this dining room, you know, what I like about it is it is open to the rest of the house. So if you want this more open floor plan, this is exactly that for you. And it's not the biggest dining room either though. So if you are a larger family looking for more space, you may want to check a different floor plan with this builder. But again, this is a large 6-seater table, so you can easily do 8 seats here and still feel very comfortable as well. It's just, I'm very big on, you know, making sure that you, as you're determining on, you know, where you want to live here in Jacksonville, Florida, when you do move here, I'm big on making sure you have all the resources at your disposal to make sure you get the right fit for you and your family. Now, normally I would say, hey, let's go outside, but I think you're gonna see why I wanna save that for later. You know, as they say, save the best for last. So let's now check out this primary bedroom, because again, there's some features in here I also am excited to show you. All right, so with this bedroom, as you can see, they continued the tray ceiling. Chef's kiss, that's what I love to see, is those trays. But they continue the tray ceiling, they continue the recessed lighting, the surround sound speakers, the wood beams, the shiplap, you know, in the ceiling, the crown molding. You know, they complete it all to give you kind of a match of what's in the living room. So again, I love that because when a builder keeps a theme, a trend going, it really makes the home look complete and looks like it was all done with the same vision in mind. But besides that, this is a great size primary bedroom. You know, you have 2 nightstands, you have seats over there, you have a massive king size bed, little sitting area in the front to take your shoes off, or maybe you just need to, you know, stretch in the morning. You use that to help stretch. We have a big, you know, call it dresser right here as well. So again, to have this many pieces of furniture and for this space to still feel as large as it does, just highlights how big of a space this is and highlights the importance of this space for the builder when they designed this floor plan. In addition, we do have some different tones with these you know, wood elements down below, just to kind of break up some of that white monotonous color. So I do appreciate that, where it's not overkill, but it does tie in with a lot of the finishes and pieces of furniture in the space. Then it takes us to the primary bathroom. And this primary bathroom is a great size. You have your water closet when you first come in. You have your oversized tub here, you know, standalone tub. The tile goes up to the ceiling throughout over here. So again, continues that theme. And they actually did a very simplistic, maybe you could even say old school approach with this tile wall. And what I mean by that is these large, you know, square tile is something that we saw a lot in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, even early 2010s. And it's kind of gone away in some regards for quite a while, but it's starting to now come back. And that marbly kind of look with it really makes it pop without it being, you know, too much at the same time. In addition, this shower is a fully enclosed seamless glass shower. It does have the step down, so it keeps all the water contained, and it has that niche. Now it doesn't have any rain heads, but guess what? I guarantee you they have an option for a rain head. Only you'll know those if you reach out to me to find out more. Again, my phone number, so if you want to call, text, or email me, my phone number, email will be on the screen as well. Then we get to our vanity here, which is a good size vanity. We do have the double vanity with it as well, all gold hardware. They continue that tile on the shower side. They continue over here as well to kind of make it match. Again, all soft close, upgraded cabinetry. So just a very clean look overall, which then now takes us to our primary closet. This primary closet, it's not the deepest, but it's very wide. And what I like is that the builder did kind of show us what they could do, what you could do with some custom closets if you desire to have them in here. This is not going to be a standard, but again, gives you an idea of how you could utilize the space for when you make this floor plan yours. So just great across the board, like what I see here, but then there's still more. So let's now go outside, and like I said, I saved the best for last, and check that out. And then we are going to go over to where we're at today, what the price of this floor plan is, and also the incentives currently being offered here in this community. All right, so let's get out here and check it out, this backyard. So right away, we have all of this covered underneath the roof line. So it goes from here, stretches all the way to the other side of the home, or not other side of the home, but almost the other side of the home. And what I love about this is gonna be more of your standard under roof. This is gonna be your back porch. Obviously they did a half wall here, which is an upgrade, but you could do if you want, just to give you some more privacy. But again, if you want to keep this open the way it is now, you can. If you want to screen it in, you also can. You have those options there to figure out what makes the most sense for you and your family as far as how to utilize your back porch or patio. In addition, the builder put a pool in this home to show you what you can do even on their lots here, because these are 50-foot lots. So again, we have a beautiful pool back here done by Tier 1 Pools, and it's a pool hot tub combo. And it's a very clean look. And as you can see, or maybe even hear, it does have that waterfall effect. And what that waterfall effect really does is it really does give you some, privacy, not necessarily visually, but through, being able to have some noise cancellation. And that's something that people don't always think about, but having that, again, it cancels out the noise of, your neighbors, maybe if you're backed up to a road, maybe some of the road noise. And it really does give you a more private environment, for you and your family to be able to just enjoy living in Florida and enjoy your backyard. So I absolutely love that. Now, if you want to know what that cost is, pools can be very costly with new construction here in Jacksonville. So reach out to me and I'll give you an idea of generally what you'll look at from a standpoint on cost for that. In addition, what I actually think is kind of cool is with a pool, you're going to have pool equipment. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You're going to have it. What they did here though, is they actually built, to hide the pool equipment, they also built like a little area, like a little bar area here to where you can actually, entertain guests. You can cook up some food on your gas grill here, grab a beer or soft drink out of the mini fridge, and you and your guests, your friends, family can hang out here, after you've gone for a swim and have a beer, have some food, and just be able to, chill out, get some food in you during a lunch or whatnot, while you're enjoying your beautiful backyard and beautiful pool. So those are just things that really epitomize living in Florida, being outside, enjoying the elements, being with friends and family. And those are things that I myself really take into account as well when I'm looking at homes. So I always like to try to bring that up when I'm doing these model home tours for you as well. So that's gonna wrap up the walkthrough, but now let's dive into, again, why this is that next big community, as well as who the builder is, what the floor plan is, and what it could take to get a home just like this in the future. And that's going to finish this up as far as the walkthrough, but there's so much more to go into, so let's try to keep this quick. First of all, we are in the Everrange master plan community here in the Jacksonville, Florida area. This is that next big master plan community. So if you've heard of communities like Nocatee, Rivertown, E-Town, Silverleaf, well, guess what? This is that next large community that could be right for you and your family. And this is actually the first neighborhood within the community called Mariposa. Now, Mariposa is a neighborhood that has 40-foot, 50-foot, and 60-foot wide lots. This one specifically we're at today is a 50-foot wide product. And this is built by a national home builder by the name of Toll Brothers. So you probably have heard of Toll Brothers, but Toll Brothers is typically a more luxurious home builder, and they are well regarded typically nationally for their building practices and their final end product for you and your family. And I think you saw a lot of that today with what we've looked at throughout this home, because there's a lot of amazing finishes throughout. And at the end of the day, that does drive the price up. So again, when we talk about the base price in just a moment, it's definitely, that is not the price of the house that we looked at today, but it gives you an idea of where you're starting at before you add lot premium, design center finishes, and structural finishes to the home. But why is this the newest community? Well, it's just the newest in general, but why is it the hottest? Well, this is one of the hottest communities here in Jacksonville right now because of its proximity to everything. We are located in Duval County, but we're right off of US 1, just north of Nocatee. And with being off US 1, you're very conveniently located to get to I-95, to take US 1 north or south, or to get to Butler Boulevard, or State Road 202. So again, if you go to the beach, you're 15, 20 minutes away. If you need to go to St. John's Town Center, which is more the hub of Jacksonville, again, 15, 20 minutes away. I mean, if you want to go to St. Augustine, you're about 45 minutes away. If you want to get to the airport, about 45 minutes away as well. So, I mean, and there's other major cities you can get to in less than 5 hours if you desired. So in general, people do love this area because of the fact that it has a lot to offer from a location standpoint. Now, in the condition, obviously with new construction, you get an amazing condition as well. Price is one of those things you have to determine, is it right for you and your family? But again, when it comes to buying a home, price, condition, and location are always the three things you need to take into account. And of those three, only location is the one you can't change. So just always think about that. And that's something I always try to talk through with anyone I work with when it comes to determining what neighborhood, what location is the right fit for them and their family. But with this being a Toll Brothers built house, again, they do a lot of things for their buyers. They do provide some great incentives. So just something that, if you want to know what they are right this second, reach out to me. But in general, with this floor plan, this is their Ella floor plan, and they put a lot of upgrades into this. So for instance, if you want a home just like this, getting some good incentives from them is always a good idea because it helps offset some of those end pricing that may be higher than maybe you may even think right this second. But if it gets you the house you want, it could always all be worth it. But this Ella floor plan, it starts as a 3-bedroom floor plan, but what we saw today was 4 bedrooms. It starts as a 2-bathroom floor plan, but does go up to 3 bathrooms, as again we saw today. And in fact, we actually saw 4 bathrooms today. And the reason for that is they have actually made this floor plan bigger than it used to be by adding that 2nd bedroom and bathroom upstairs. So again, you get a lot of space with this house. Now this floor plan does start with the 2-story version around 2,414 square feet, but the one we're in today, the one we're looking at right this second, is probably pushing close to 3,000, 2,800 to 3,000 right this moment. So you definitely do get a lot of space with it at what I think is a very good price. Now the base price of this floor plan is something that is always subject to change, so do keep that in mind. And again, it's a 2-car garage, as you saw, 2-story house. But the base price of this floor plan, subject to change, right this second though, is right around $625 to $635, depending on the elevation you choose. Now with lot premium, with structural options, with design center options, you are probably really starting in the mid to high 7s. So again, if you're watching this thinking, oh, that's an awesome price, well, just keep in mind, you are probably gonna be in the mid 700s. So again, if you want someone to kind of go through that with you, to kind of go over what to expect when you work with Toll Brothers or really any builder in general, I can definitely be your guy for that. But again, great starting price. Again, they have a handful of lots still available right this second, so reach out to me and learn more about that. And as far as incentives, those are also to change. So if you want to know what they are, again, just reach out to me with a call, a text, an email. I'm always happy to help answer any and all questions as you are thinking about living in and moving to the Jacksonville, Florida area. And stay tuned because we are going to be doing a lot more videos just like this. But also, if you want to know what else is available here in the Ever Range and specifically the Mariposa neighborhood, at the end of this video is going to be a pop-up for some other model home tours we've done in this neighborhood. So check those out. And again, if you want to schedule time with me, in the description will be a link to my calendar. But besides that, let me get you out of here and we will see you again on the next model home tour.